Hey, Belle here. So, I owe you guys some serious videos because I went to Seattle because you all made it possible, and I need to talk about that experience with all of you, share what I learned there, and thank you all times a million. Things have been nuts. I am so hardcore jet lagged still, and it's been like 2 weeks since I've been back almost, and I something about that Seattle time or something has messed with me, but I'm getting there. I'm getting caught up. Got a lot of stuff going on with Dames and Safe Gamers and Guardian Radio and Rectify and Life, but I promise I have not forgotten about you guys and all that you have made possible. So, this is just a generalized experience of going to Seattle video, and then I will be breaking it down into smaller videos for you all. So, basically, it was amazing. Okay, I hate flying, first of all. I'm not a flying person. I love little planes. I almost got my pilot's license before. But you put me into one of those giant planes where you're like crammed next to the weird guy next to you who's watching some awkward TV show and snoring and the recycled air and just, it's too long. I don't like it, but it was so worth it. So we flew out of Wisconsin on the 9th and flew over to Chicago, where now real quick, we're going to talk about airports for a second here, because airports, I hate them. You guys know me. I don't swear really, at least not on streams and not in my videos, and like I kind of try to keep it clean. Okay, that's just who I am normally. But my goodness, O'Hare Airport totally filled my F-bomb quota for like the century, okay? Because we get off of our plane from Wisconsin, and we're supposed to have had like 40 minutes to get from that plane to the next plane to fly from Chicago to Seattle, right? So we're like, okay, it's a big airport, but 40 minutes, we should be able to make it there in time. Well, it takes us like 15 minutes to taxi in the plane. And then because it's such a small plane flying from Wisconsin to Chicago, they don't let you put even like your normal sized carry-ons up in the compartments. You have to like check them in. So then what they have to do is they have to get them off the plane, they bring them up to you, you have to wait for them to hand you yours. That's another like 10-15 minutes because the plane was full. So at this point we're like, oh crap, we've got like 15 minutes maybe to make it to our next spot. So we're like, okay, we're going to take the shuttle, right? It tells us right there we're supposed to go to C. That shuttle takes us to C. So we get on in the line, which is very long, because we'd asked a guy, we're like, okay, what's the best way to get there? He's like, oh, take the shuttle. Like, this is a guy that works at the airport. We're standing in the line, and we notice the shuttle takes off. And we're like, okay. And then we're like, how long is it going to be till the next one? And he's like, oh, probably about 15 minutes. That's how long it, takes to get everybody there, get them off, get you guys on, and get over there. I'm like, why didn't you tell us that when we asked you? It was the same guy. So now we're like running, right? And so we run across the whole airport, and we get there, and we're like, oh, yes, we're here like 2 minutes early. We should be totally fine. Problem is, they didn't let us know what time they were boarding. So the plane we're supposed to get on got there early. They boarded early. The plane was still sitting there, but the doors were closed and they wouldn't let us on. So we missed our flight, which was awesome. So then we had to go change our flight time. And the next earliest one was 3 to 4 hours later. So we get to hang out in Chicago. So couldn't leave the airport. We just hung out in Chicago for 3 to 4 hours. And the best part is I'm pretty sure it's because Obama was flying into Seattle that same day. So my guess is it was right during the time he was flying in that we had to wait. So I'm like walking around this airport, dropping F-bombs everywhere. I am so pissed off. Like, I wish I had recorded it for you guys, because that's so not like me normally. So, but anyway, so we ate, which was nice, and this got us to Seattle like 3-4 hours later than we were supposed to be there, which sucked because I was supposed to go get trained for Geek Girl Con, but that's okay. We got there, and I'm like, okay, well, I contacted them to see if I could still come in to get a little basic training before, the next day. By the time that we get from the airport to where the light rail picks us up, which was literally like the farthest walk you can think of. Like, we passed the Alaska airline. I was so tempted to just hop on and go to Alaska. But anyway, so we finally get on the light rail. We're talking with Misha, my amazing dame, who was so kind to let us stay with her. And I get a email letting me know that it's too late now to go get trains. So we're on the way to the wrong stop on the light rail. So then we had a fun time playing like peekaboo, trying to find each other, us and Misha, downtown Seattle. We found each other by Macy's finally. So, and so that night was okay. We went home with Misha, which, can I just huge shout out. Misha, you are amazing for letting us stay with you. You cooked us breakfast. You took amazing care of us. You were like the best hostess in the entire world. Plus, you're awesome. And it was really entertaining to watch you cook in your kitchen and hang out with your son. So, just huge thank you. Like, everybody, Misha is amazing. Go follow her everywhere you possibly can. You're also a great admin for the day. So, yeah, so then the next morning's Geek Girl Con, which I'm going to do a whole separate video on Geek Girl Con, but that was an amazing experience. I worked in the panel rooms. I got to work with a number of Bungie people in the panel rooms. I got to watch some panels that were just unbelievably inspiring, and it was such a cool experience to sit in these rooms where people could bring up pretty much any topic. They could talk about gay relationships in anime. They could talk about cross-dressing. They could talk about pretty much anything you can think of. And the room didn't have this negative feeling about it. You could tell the people in there weren't all like, oh, this is such an awkward topic. People just talked about stuff. And I have so many things I want to talk about with Geek Girl Con, and I am definitely going back next year if I can. So thank you guys for that experience, and I will link the video that I make about that experience with this video. So Saturday, Sunday, we're all about Geek Girl Con, but we also got a little bit of time to go down to Pike Place, which is an amazing market way down the street from the convention center. And oh my goodness, I have never been, like, I live in little old Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Now you all know where I live. But we have cows, we have a movie theater, we have some restaurants. Oh, and there's a bowling alley. There used to be two, but one of them shut down, and we have lots of bars. But not the kind of bars you necessarily want to go hang out at a lot. And it's a college town, but it's not like a college town. So, first of all, the idea of like public transportation, so weird to me. Like, we have a city bus, but like it's small, you know, like a normal city bus, not this in between big areas. And anyway, so this market is just incredible to me. Like, beautiful produce. There was like fish everywhere and so many different items. Like, it's like levels, like there's multiple levels to it, and we explored like half of one level while I was there, and I had the most amazing clam chowder and deep fried salmon. Oh my goodness, so yummy. Like, that, look at the picture, it is beautiful. Anyway, so great experience there. I really, really wish I could go there multiple times. There was a place that sold crumpets, and we totally forgot to go back there. We walked through it, and I was like, I have to go there because I did get a picture of me eating a crumpet to show Bife that I am totally English at heart. I'm not really, but I wanted to show him up, and I forgot. Anyway, so next time, I have to go to the crumpet place. And there's like a million places I wanted to visit and people I wanted to see. I just did not have time, so next time we're going to have to make more time to just go explore and meet people. Anyway, so Monday I'm also going to make a separate video about, but I'll give you the general gist of it. Monday, I had the most amazing experience, an opportunity to go to Bungie. So I got to go meet Cosmo and Deej, and they gave us an amazing tour, and I signed NDAs, so I can't talk about things, but it was so much fun and so personal, and seriously, we appreciate that experience so much. My husband got to come with me, and it was very inspiring, really pushed him to start putting his portfolio together because he really wants to work there, and I'd love to get an interview too, but it was such a cool experience. So thank you guys for that, and I will talk more about that in a separate video, like I said. But It was also really cool because we ran into multiple people in the hallways there that we know, that I follow on Twitter, that work at Bungie, and it's kind of cool to see people. And James I should have yelled poop at you. I really, really should have. I will see you next time. Anyway, so then Monday night was probably the coolest experience of the entire trip. Monday night was the meetup that I hosted. We went to Lucky Strike, slash something about gameplay. It's an arcade and a bowling alley. We didn't bowl at all. By the time we went to go bowl, they were shutting down bowling. But anyway, we hung out in the arcade part for the most part. And a lot of people showed up. Like, you guys, I did not expect that many people. I don't even know, 30 to 50 come and go, somewhere in there. There were people who drove 4 hours to come. There were people who drove 8 hours to come to this meetup. You people blow my mind. Like, I'm going to make a separate video to talk about this too and show you videos and stuff of it. But it was the most humbling, amazing experience I think I've ever had. And, like, we had a couple of Bungie people show up. Cosmo and Deej were there for a while. We had a couple of testers show up. We had a guy from Microsoft. By the way, you're awesome. And Emmy Chung was there for a while. Like, and it was so cool because it was like, yeah, there's this knowledge in the back of your head. There's Bungie people here. Oh my goodness. But by like one drink in and hanging out and playing the arcade games, it was more like, there's a bunch of people who play Destiny. There's a bunch of people. Friends. We all became friends, and it didn't matter if you worked at Bungie or Microsoft, or you drove 8 hours, or you came from Wisconsin on a horrible flight where you swore in Chicago, or you're a person who lives right there. It didn't matter how much you played or who you were, what position you had. Everybody just had fun. And that was so cool. It was an amazing experience to get to hug you people. Like, I hear about you online, we talk online, you support me, and I got to hug you, and that was so cool. And we have really goofy pictures, and I probably drank a little too much and got a little goofy, but it was just absolutely incredible. And I walked away from that experience, instead of it being these are people that I've met online, it was these are my friends. And honestly, the next day on the plane heading back, I bawled my eyes out, and because I already missed Seattle, and I missed all of you that I met out there and the experience that I had, and I just I want to be back out there. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Wisconsin, and Seattle costs a lot of money. But I'm not the most social person anymore. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. I live in the game, I live on the internet, I deal with my daughter at home, I work from home. I don't see a lot of people out and about anymore, and I miss that. So being out there and actually having this like in-person interaction with you guys was just, I needed that so much. And I seriously, I want to start crying here because I miss you guys a lot already. And anyway, so that was kind of my experience so far. I brought some things back that I want to give away to people. I have other stories I want to share, more specifics about Geek Girl Con, about Bungie, about the meetup. I promise they're coming. But to wrap this video up, because it's getting long, thank you. Every single one of you who has supported me, who offered money for us to go on this trip. I owe you so much. And this experience has been amazing, and I want to share it with you all, and I want it to lead somewhere. I want it to be something that I can find a way to give back to you. So if there's any specifics, any questions that you have about the trip, anything you want to know, anything you want to have, just let me know, and I will do everything I can to repay you in any way I can come up with for the help that we received on going on this trip and the support we received getting there, being there, everything. It's just amazing, and So yeah, I have some things I want to give to specific people, and then I want to do some general giveaways. So keep an eye out for those on here and on Twitter. Oh yeah, and Chicago got more F-bombs out of me on the way back because they messed up my hamburger. So I'm not flying out of Chicago anymore. Anyway, so this is also inspired having other meetups. There's going to be a Midwest meetup sometime this spring, probably around April-ish. Either in like the Madison or Chicago area. I'm still trying to figure out all the details. I'm working with a bunch of different people on it, but there will be things happening here. And then if I ever make it to any other events, other places, which hopefully will happen, I will host a meetup. Anywhere that I go, I will host a meetup for people to get together and have a good time because that was just incredible. So anyway, this video got way too long. Keep an eye out for more videos coming about the trip that'll break it down, hopefully be slightly shorter about each one, and included in them will be some name dropping and some links and everything of things to go check out that I learned from Geek Girl Con, because there's some amazing resources out there, and I think you should all check them out. So anyway, thank you for sticking through this whole entire video if you actually did. Thank you for helping us get there. I love every single one of you. This bunny has got to bounce. Mwah. Totally filled my F-bomb quota for like the century. But fish everywhere. Okay.